Good evening. Good evening. I hope everybody has had a positive, peaceful, and productive day today. If not, I pray that your angels, ancestors, spirit guides, and of course the Most High help you with that. I also pray that He clothes us in His armor from head to toe, that He strengthens our discernment and guides our steps as we go throughout our days. That being said, we're just going to pick up right where we left off. We did the affirmations and the mantra this morning. I guess we'll kind of review what we got this morning. Our mantras: my greatest weapon against a bad day is a smile. I radiate patience like a guru. I will be patient with my grief. We got acknowledge spirit with the chakra affirmation. I meditate and welcome mystical truths. I'm open to seeking guidance in my spiritual quests from a spiritual teacher, master, or guru. A lot of what we talked about this morning was being open to learn. Our angel numbers were 3737 and 1177. Comfort zone and growth. Pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. Learning new things. Gaining more knowledge. Putting that knowledge into practice. We got number 33, nostalgia, with the new oracle deck, the believe in your own magic oracle. It talked about not living in the past, not living in the future, but living in the present. Breaking yourself out of the repetitive thought cycles, the woulda, shoulda, couldas. Our morning scripture was 2 Peter 3:18. But grow in the grace and knowledge of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. To Him the glory both now and forever. Talked about really learning the teachings of Jesus Christ, digging deeper besides the basic Bible, because we all know the Bible has been manipulated by man. But over the years, different scriptures and texts have been found that really shed light on a lot of the stuff that they were trying to keep from us. You have the Gospel of Mary Magdalene. You have the Gospel of Thomas. There's several other Gospels that are not included in the Bible that really shed light on a lot of different things. All right, then we had gentleness and everyone's a teacher from our affirmators deck. Once again, confirming the being willing to learn, but also being willing to share the knowledge that you've already gained. And then from the Wild Offering Oracle, we had clarity, spaciousness, trust, and despair. These are all the cards that we pulled this morning. So if you didn't catch that video, you can go check that out. And, I read the cards completely. But that was just kind of an overview. All right, so now we're going to get a namaste card. I hope everybody had a good day today. Prayers and, loads of loving energy to the people that are still battling the snow and battling the bad weather. We got hit with it a little bit where I'm at, but the surrounding counties and, the state of Tennessee as a whole, we really got it pretty easy in comparison. So I'm thankful for that. But at the same time, I feel bad for the people that got hit pretty hard. Especially the people that, for whatever reason, weren't able to prepare. Lean on me on the radio. Sometimes in our lives, we all have pain. We all have sorrow. But If we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Okay, practice gratitude. Make friends with the voice in your head. I mean, we talk about the attitude of gratitude all the time. Spend time throughout the day thinking or writing down the things you are thankful for, such as the morning sunshine, warm oats and fruit, the flowers smiling back at you on your morning walk, a job to support your lifestyle, or whatever it may be. Noticing these little things and practicing gratitude is the first step in programming your mind to focus on the positive while releasing the negative. Eventually, there will be fewer and fewer of these negative thoughts and less stress. Instead of, I don't think I can handle another day of this traffic, you might instead think, this commute provides me the time to listen to my favorite podcasts. This bright new outlook can bring positive changes throughout many aspects of your life. Make friends with the voice inside your head. Take a moment to make friends with the voice in your head. The best of friends listen more than they speak. So just take a while to listen to what the voice in your head is telling you. Are they nice things? Are they negative things? Just listen. Do this for 8 minutes. While doing this exercise, begin to accept the good words and put away the bad ones. Make friends with the voice in your head so that when it speaks, it will shower you with encouraging thoughts and positive emotions. We talked a lot about that the other day. Self-love, but you could really even relate that to the nostalgia, the number 33. You know, the spinning thoughts, whatever it is that you get caught up in. Hello. For different people, it's different things, but more positive self-talk, loving on yourself a little bit better. We all need more practice with that. We are our own worst critic in most cases. And that is a hard habit to break. But at the same time, to a point, those expectations can motivate us to do better. It's about balance, really. But that really could relate to our angel numbers as well. The 1177, growth, and 3737, comfort zones. Allowing yourself to take baby steps out of those comfort zones so that you can grow emotionally as well as physically, spiritually, financially, whatever area you're wanting to grow. Growth rarely happens in our comfort zone. Growth usually happens when we either willingly step out of our comfort zone or the universe just forces us out of our comfort zone. Usually that's when the most growth happens. Everyone sometimes needs to hear from another that everything will work out in the end. Yeah, we all need that sometimes. Sometimes we get overwhelmed or distracted or caught up in those nostalgic thoughts. The woulda, shoulda, couldas. The where would my life be if fill in the blank. To a point, it's healthy to think like that. Sometimes it helps us see lessons that we need to learn, but where it becomes dangerous is when you get stuck there and you can't see past, you can't push yourself out of that. So make friends with that voice inside your head. Let go of the past. The woulda, shoulda, couldas, whatever that is for you. Maybe it's career, family, friends. We're not going to do it. It's suggesting that I do a Q&A. We're not going to do a Q&A, okay? All right. I'm glad we can agree on that. All right, now we're going to pull from the Animal Allies. Last time we saw Blue Jay, Kingfisher, and Meadowlark. I think it's been a little bit since we've pulled from this deck, actually. We've got Goose on the bottom of the deck as we're getting started. I keep hearing silly goose. It's okay to be a silly goose every once in a while. Do you like Stranger Things? I have never watched it. I've heard of it, but I've never watched it. So I couldn't tell you, honestly. I don't watch very much TV, and honestly, if I do watch some kind of movie or TV show, it's usually an older one, not something really new. Usually by the time I watch something, it's already old. I just recently, a couple months ago, watched Hunger Games for the first time. And then ended up binge watching it multiple times over and over again. Because that's Hunger Games is one of those movies where you can watch it multiple times and notice things that you didn't notice the previous times just because there's so much going on there. Isn't the Stranger Things, isn't that kind of similar to like X-Men in a way where people have different abilities and stuff? I don't know. I don't really know anything about it. I've just heard other people in videos talk about it. We got Hummingbird and Hawk. Both starting with the letter H. Kinda. Okay. There's a woman that I watch online. I can't ever remember the name of her page, but she goes by Empress Bella. She references Stranger Things a lot, or used to. And then Spiritual Sag used to reference it a lot as well. All right, we got Rooster on the bottom of the deck. And Starling. Roosters and hawks are very territorial birds, and really so are hummingbirds. Hummingbirds can be very aggressive in certain situations. All right, hawk and hummingbird. Obviously going to be very close together in the book as well. All right, hawk. Hawk superpowers. Noticing details, adapting to change, strength, grace, good aim, independence, spiritual awareness. Hawk wisdom. Internal changes happen over time. It's never too late to begin to build new habits or strengthen weak areas. When Hawk appears, look at whatever is troubling you from both a high and low perspective. Turn over each rock in your psyche. What's there, trying to get your attention? Home in with your own sharp senses to get a more expansive view. Hawk wants you to know magic and synchronicities are right here, right now. Use all 6 senses to receive the signs trying to speak to you. They can appear from anywhere at any time, and only you can decipher what they might mean. We talked about that the other day. I don't remember exactly which day it was where we got the angel number 4442 signs. Like, there are signs all around us all the time, but a lot of times we just miss them because we're not paying attention, or we dismiss them thinking, oh, it's just a coincidence, or oh, it's no biggie, when in reality it was some kind of sign or confirmation that you've been asking for. That's why they say, like, when you ask for a sign, when you're talking to your angels, ancestors, spirit guides, the Most High, when you ask for a sign, they say to be specific. Like, ask for something very specific. That way, when it happens, there is no way that you can deny that that's what it was. Whether it's, you know, asking to see a specific bird or a specific number, or there's thousands of ways that you could do that, so I'm not even going to try to give examples, but be specific. All right, hummingbird superpowers: joy, receiving, sweetness, gratitude, good luck, accomplishing the impossible, overcoming limiting beliefs, beauty, childlike wonder, and love. Childlike wonder. Remember when I said earlier with the goose about being a silly goose? Having fun and humor like a child. Hummingbird wisdom. There is no benefit to playing small, and it's not possible to receive too much abundance. There will always be enough for everyone. Let me close my door because Copper's eating and it's distracting me. And I'm going to grab a bottle of water while I'm up because I didn't get me anything to drink before I sat down. I shall return. Intermission. Copper, you're a butthole. Like, you wait until I get on live to start eating. It's okay, though. I love you anyways. Which now we're not really going to be able to hear the radio, but it's okay. It's okay. How's everybody doing? Happy Wednesday. Coconut water. I'm hooked on this stuff. So good. I totally prefer it to regular water, for sure. So many different health benefits, especially for like digestion and tummy issues. Coconut and aloe are both good for digestion and tummy issues. I don't know why I felt the need to say that, but boom, there you go. There's your bit of knowledge for the day. Okay, hummingbird. Joy, receiving, sweetness, gratitude, good luck, accomplishing the impossible, overcoming limiting beliefs, beauty. I read all this already. Sorry. Childlike wonder and love. My bad. Hummingbird wisdom. There is no benefit to playing small. I read that too. Dang. Did I read the whole thing already? When hummingbird appears, celebrate yourself and the way you show up in the world. Be open to receiving all the sweetness life has to offer. What will you gift to yourself? Hummingbird wants you to know, expect more joy and ease soon. Open your heart and beat your wings. The world is ready for your unique brand of beauty and style. Where did we get, the other day from the Affirmators deck, we got joy, where it talked about joy's like butter. It makes everything better. Overcoming limiting beliefs. Kind of going back to the 33 with the nostalgia, overcoming those repetitive thoughts, overcoming that stagnant mindset of the woulda, shoulda, coulda. Man, please believe me when I tell you, I know how hard it is to get out of that when you're there. I spent way too long in that phase of my life. Thank you. What are you a big fan of? Of the Stranger Things, or of me, or of what I was talking about? Yeah, hi. Okay. That was it for the animal allies. We'll do, let's do some angels of abundance. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for being here. I hope you hear something that motivates you, encourages you, or just helps you smile a little bit today. All right. Angels of Abundance Oracle. Everyone sometimes needs to hear from another that everything will work out in the end. You know, sometimes just hearing that from another person can really change somebody's mindset. Especially, you know, it's really been coming up a lot here lately about sharing knowledge of your journey with other people to help them on their journey. You know, realizing that the healing journey is never really over. So, you know, we kind of learn as we go, and part of it is sharing what we've learned with others to try to, you know, maybe help them from not taking the same path, or, you know, making the same mistakes. Face your financial fears flew right out of the deck. Cooperation instead of competition. Teamwork energy. Clearing debts. So a lot of money energy out here. The cooperation instead of competition, we see that a lot. You know, teamwork makes the dream work, but make sure you're working with the right team. Use your discernment. Really listen to your intuition. We talked about that the other day, making sure that the people that you surround yourself with lift you up and, you know, share similar goals or at least morals in life. All right. When you are honest with yourself about fears of success or failure, they can no longer control you. Be free of hidden fears by exposing them to the light of awareness, and you'll realize that you, in fact, have nothing to fear, and that every successful person has struggled with and released these self-doubts. We talked about that the other day, and it's important to remember that, especially in those moments when you feel like nobody could ever understand what you're going through or how you're feeling, there is somebody out there that can understand that. You know, maybe they haven't been through exactly the same thing you're going through, but they have been through similar experiences enough to be able to bring you comfort and, you know, understanding of the situation, and maybe even help you find some lessons in the situation. Don't be stubborn. Don't turn that away when, going back to the signs like we were talking about earlier, when the universe sends somebody into your life that is trying to offer guidance or understanding or support, don't get caught up in your ego and turn that away. Kind of going back to what we heard on the radio, lean on me. Don't be so proud that you're not willing to accept a blessing when it is sent your way. Doing that can very much delay progress. Ego in general delays a lot of us. That's what slows us down a lot in the healing journey. All right, cooperation instead of competition. What's yours is yours, and no one can take it from you. There's no need to compete. There's an abundance for all. Didn't we just, what did we just read where it said that there, where it talked about the abundance? Was that the animal allies? You have complete access to unlimited abundance for yourself and to share with others. With cooperative partnerships, you can accomplish anything. With cooperative partnerships, you know, meaning, people that you mesh well together, that you can cooperate with. All right, and clearing debt. Your self-care involves removing the heavy burden of financial and emotional debts from your life. You already feel lighter and freer just by facing this topic and making a plan to clear present obligations and avoid future ones as well. So, paying off debts and trying to establish a lifestyle that will prevent you from going back into debt, whether that's financial debt, even spiritual debt. Because what we put out is what comes back to us. And, we can, if we accept wrong energies into our life, it can really set us back and put us in karmic debt. So, going back to what I talked about earlier about, being cautious, being aware of the people that you surround yourself with. All right, let's get some celestial insights. We got reflection on the bottom of the deck as we're getting started. You got Fast Car on the radio. It was originally a Tracy Chapman song. I don't know who this is that redid it. A country singer. Somebody redid it. Honestly, I wasn't a fan of the original, and I'm definitely not a fan of the remake. But, to each their own. All right. Celestial insights. It's weird how our taste in music changes as we get older. Like, I go back and listen to some of the stuff I used to listen to when I was young, and it's like, was I even listening to the words? Because some of it I can't believe I was listening to. All right, we got marriage and enlightenment. We did see clarity with our wild offering oracles this morning. Marriage is a blend of love, trust, and responsibility. Are you considering a deeper commitment? Ensure you are ready for the responsibilities and challenges that come with it. Okay, now, think of that kind of generic term or generic aspect as far as the commitment part. That could be the teamwork. It doesn't necessarily have to be like an actual marriage. All right, and then enlightenment. You are on the path to enlightenment, discovering higher truths. Have you noticed a recent shift in your awareness? Continue following this light. It will lead you to greater wisdom. Very much clarifying, confirming the clarity that we got this morning. It's important to always seek that. Don't ever fool yourself into thinking that you know everything. Always be always be open to learning. Going back to what I said earlier about the ego. Step out of your comfort zone, let go of your ego, and be willing to learn something different. Whether it's about your spiritual journey, whether it's some kind of career change, a new hobby, whatever it is. Don't ever think that you're too old or you're not capable of learning new things or even revamping old things and turning an old skill. I'm seeing the penguin card from the Animal Allies. Taking an old skill and using it in a new way. You know, maybe taking a skill that was just a hobby and turning it into a career, vice versa. All right. How long have we been on here? 30 minutes and 48 seconds. All right. Nature Seasons Oracle. Last time we got Tree and Hope, rooted in vitality, faith, and expectation. We got Wishes and Miracles, Meteor on the bottom of the deck as we're getting started. I may end up having to turn my heater on. It's starting to get a little chilly. We're supposed to have a nasty spell of weather coming through this weekend again. Calling for more snow. When I looked at the weather today, it was saying on Friday it was going to get down to 6 degrees. And that's not including the wind chill. Brr. All right. Nature Seasons Oracle. Makes me very grateful that I have a roof over my head, that I have a working heat system. Sky, vastness and possibility. Let's see, is it better this way? It's not really better either way, is it? Yep, that's a little better. Walking on Sunshine is playing on the radio. Sunset, endings, and reflection on the bottom of the deck. And Fox, wit and adaptability on the top of the deck. Interesting that these two are the sky. You got sky, sunset, and Walking on Sunshine is on the radio. The sky reminds you that life is full of limitless possibilities. Today, look to the horizon and feel the endless opportunities. Don't be afraid to take the first step towards those dreams you once thought were out of reach. Sunset symbolizes the close of a chapter. Today, take time to reflect on the past and organize your thoughts. Let go of what's done. Express gratitude for every moment and get ready for the new beginnings. What do we say all the time? You got to get rid of the old to make room for the new, right? All right, Fox. Today requires adaptability. Change is inevitable, but those who can adjust quickly will find opportunities in the chaos. Stay calm. Respond flexibly and use your cleverness to find the best solution. Going back to the 3737 comfort zones. Risk, growth, expansion, breakthrough. Where in my life have I become too comfortable? How can I push myself beyond my comfort zones? And the wit and adaptability really kind of goes with what I said about using an old skill in a new way. You know, that could be something like you used to be a CNA in a hospital and now you're going to be a CNA doing home health. You know, you're still a CNA, but it's a completely different environment. And it requires different things from you. I've started getting like this thing in my throat right here. Like a tickle or an itch or something. Okay. Forest Spirit Oracle. We got Elephant Spirit, Strength, and Wisdom on the bottom of the deck as we're getting started. One more. All the decks that I use can be found on Amazon. That's why I try to say the names of them. Did that flip over? No. That whole chunk just kind of flipped over there. Water Element, Squirrel Spirit, Hummingbird, and Dragonfly. Look at that. Double confirmation on the Hummingbird. And actually, very similar colors. There comes my heat. Thank you. Ask and you shall receive. All right. We got Butterfly on the bottom of the deck, Transform. And Stag Leadership on the top of the deck. But what actually flipped over was Hummingbird, Water Element, Squirrel Spirit, and Dragonfly. Okay, Hummingbird. Happiness. As you buzz through life, remember to enjoy the good times and live your joy. Purification, Water Spirit. Water also references emotions. Deep dive into your emotions, finding healing and renewal in the depths of your being. Squirrel Spirit, fast moves. Gather your resources to navigate different conditions and find creative solutions. Look at that. That's very much lining up with the fox, the wit and adaptability, finding creative solutions, using old skills in a new way. And then we got Dragonfly Spirit, perspective. Which card where did it talk about looking at things from a high perspective and from a low perspective? Wow, several confirmations there. All right, let's pull from, we'll do the Love Oracle. Our time is almost up with that. We got about, I don't know, about 2.5 weeks left, I guess. We're only using this until Valentine's Day, and then we're putting it away. I feel bad for letting you down, and a third-party intervention has destroyed our connection. Slid off the top of the deck when I took the lid off the box. Let's have a little bit of the intermission here. Happy Wednesday. Where the numbers are on the phone, I can't even really see, so I don't know if there's anybody in here or not. If you guys don't listen to John Tesh, you can the iHeartRadio, you can find him on there. You can learn a lot from John Tesh. Which he's got another guy that does the show with him now too. Probably the guy that's gonna like take over when he retires. All right. I've listened to John Tesh for years, and I've learned a lot from him. I can't even begin to name off all the different things, the little tidbits of information I've picked up from him over the years. All right, one more. I can't remember who sings this song. All right, let's see what we got. Big egos would lead this relationship to a darker place. What did I say multiple times about the ego? I'm putting that up there like you guys can read it. My bad. I do appreciate everything you've been giving me the whole time. I just need some time to give more in our relationship. I'm so confused about our relationship and occupied with cloudy thoughts. There's that ruminating. There's that spinning wheel. Your energy heals me. So, helping others heal. Think of this from multiple perspectives, not just from a relationship perspective, but just acts of love. Big egos will lead to a dark place, right? So if you're stuck in your ego, too proud to ask for help, too proud to humble yourself in whatever way, it'll lead to a dark place. I do appreciate everything you've been giving me the whole time. We did see gratitude already out here. Giving your energy and your knowledge, sharing your time with people that appreciate it, people that are grateful for it. Going back to what we talked about being careful of the people and the energy you surround yourself with. I just need some time to give more in our relationship. So, reciprocation. All right, let's see what else we get. Your energy heals me. Our minds intertwine without saying out loud. So, embracing the spiritual connections, soul tribe energy, going back to the cooperation instead of competition. Is that my negativity keeping me away from you? Boom. There it is again. The negativity, the negative mindset. That was a lot. Sorry for breaking your trust. You are the soul I've been seeking for. I gotta know more about you. I've been giving you love, devotion, and receiving nothing but your criticism and pain. Being fair sometimes brings us balance and more understanding. Be adaptive and receptive to lead our love to divine growth. My love for you is unconditional. Be adaptive and receptive to lead our love to divine growth, whether that's self-love, love of a family, love of a soul tribe, whatever that is. Be adaptive. Don't get stuck in the negative thought patterns. Remember to reciprocate the healing, loving energy that you receive. Remember that what you put out always comes back to you. Okay, I'm gonna have to go turn up my heater. It kicked on for a little bit, but it already kicked back off and I'm getting chilly. So, intermission. I shall return. I apologize in advance. No wonder. I had my thermostat turned down to 66. I turn it down during the day. All right, let's pull from the mini decks. We haven't done that in a while. Herbal Astrology Oracle, if I can get it open. I think last time we got Cannabis. Yes, Cannabis 31 Detachment. I have learned a lot from this little deck, I must say. Herbal Astrology Pocket Oracle is what it's called, by Adriana Ayles, Ayales. It is a very informative, educational deck. All right. I don't know if they have a full size. I think they do. But I wasn't sure whether I would like it or not. And the mini deck was cheaper. So I went with the mini deck. I try to be wise in my investments. We got 2. Ashwagandha Purpose and Sage Blessing. Ashwagandha is the one that actually flipped over. There's not real. There we go. And then Sage. Blessing and Purpose. We got Tobacco Offering, number 24 on the bottom of the deck. And Cat's Claw, number 25, Purification, on the top of the deck. We're going to read the full message for Ashwagandha, because it's the one that flipped over. But we will read the Cliff Notes for Sage. Blessing, Purification, Invocation. Let's see if I can get it at a good angle where you guys can. There you go. Sacred Gift, Spiritual Cleansing, Resembling Emotional Body, Mystical Sight. Astrological Ruler, Moon, and Jupiter. Sage, like the Moon card, is the great portal to the river of life. The silver light of Sage grants us power of insight while we navigate the darkest hours. The lunar powers of Sage reminds us to look inward to receive visionary insight from Spirit. Don't get overly consumed by the emotional interplay. Allow it to pass like clouds. Draw upon the inner reserves of your psyche to navigate darkness and become keenly aware of what is causing inner disturbances, fear, or unhappiness. The initiation you are undergoing, although unfamiliar, is a great blessing. Feel yourself cease and reassemble as you break illusions to unearth hidden truths. Surrender. Don't stand in your own way. Allow the silvery white light of sage to shatter illusions as you undergo a great awakening. Surrender. Do not stand in your own way. All right, ashwagandha, number 54. Finding divine purpose, dharma, finding the future self, receiving a divine gift. Astrological ruler, North Node, and the moon. For over 4,000 years, ashwagandha has been one of the world's leading adaptogenic herbs due to its profound ability to restore and rejuvenate the body, mind, and spirit. Ashwagandha means the smell of a horse, and it offers you the strength and stamina of a horse while nourishing the female and male reproductive systems. The Latin species means sleep inducing, emphasizing its relaxing and restorative properties. Ashwagandha belongs to a subcategory of herbs called something I cannot pronounce, meaning intellect and mental power, rejuvenating, the ambrosia of immortality. Traditionally, ashwagandha is used to tone, strengthen, and revitalize, energizing and calming simultaneously. It maximizes the body's ability to resist and adapt to stress, enabling the body to reserve and sustain vital energy. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Confirmation? Where did that come from? Get you some ashwagandha. You can get ashwagandha in powder form, and you can also get it in capsule form. It maximizes the body's ability to resist and adapt to stress, enabling the body to reserve and sustain vital energy and promoting a sound and restful sleep. Ashwagandha is ruled both by the sun and moon. It is a strengthening, regulating, immune protective, anti aging, and mood boosting embodiment of the energetics of the solar archetype. At the same time, it provides restful sleep, deep relaxation, nervous system nourishment, and restoration, all of which are embodied by the lunar archetype. The nodes of the noon in astrology symbolize our karmic trajectory, or the North Node has messages for our future self, our destiny, and what we are learning as a soul in this lifetime. Or the South Node contains our karmic inheritance. What did I say about karmic debt? Guidance. Ashwagandha, like the North Node, mirrors the potentials of our divine purpose, also known as Dharma in Sanskrit. Ashwagandha contains both solar and lunar elements within it, as it provides great strength and adaptability, yet with the deep qualities of the moon, such as relaxation, lucidity, and expanded consciousness, ashwagandha reminds us that it is necessary to fully know the entirety of our purpose in order to pursue it. When you're living in alignment with your Dharma, there is no separation between your inner and outer realities. It becomes a cohesive expression, therefore granting a feeling of wholeness and completion. Perhaps you are not clear on your desired outcome, so your efforts feel unfocused or purposeless. Even if you've lost touch with your why, remain open to the mystery of the journey. Stay focused and playful. Keep following the signs. Bam. What did we talk about? The love and the innocence and the playfulness of a child. We talked about watching for the signs. Stay focused on your growth. Wow. Several confirmations there. All right. Now we'll pull from the Animal Spirit Oracle. This is also a pocket deck by Kim Krans. 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 I don't know. I used to have the full-size version of this a long time ago. All right. Pocket. Wow, that was quick. Cheetah. Fire energy. Swan on the bottom of the deck. Water energy. And frog on the top of the deck. Also water energy. Frogs, in a lot of ways, represent healing. Cheetahs are known for their speed. Swans are known for their beauty. Cheetah, look at that. Solar force. We just read about the solar and lunar forces with ashwagandha. Solar force. Action, achievement, masculine energy. When in balance, achieves anything. Boundless energy. When out of balance, impatient and competitive. To bring into balance, reconnect to purpose. What? That's very much lining up with the ashwagandha for sure. All right. Then we got swan. Effortless creativity, sensitive mystic, and elegant power. When in balance, infinite creative power. When out of balance, agitated, snippy, and lacking vision. To bring into balance, solo time and writing. All right, and then we got frog. Clearing, cleansing, and healing. When in balance, clear energy and enthusiasm for life. When out of balance, depleted, running on empty. To bring into balance, lake, river, ocean, or bathhouse. Water. Water. Water element. Emotions. We talked about that already. Water. Maybe a spiritual bath, a spiritual shower, some kind of spiritual cleansing with water. All right. Let's see. How long have we been on here? 59, 51? right, we'll do the Unstoppable You Oracle. Last time we got No One Else Is You. We got Be the First to Believe on the bottom of the deck as we're getting started. A lot of focus on clearing out old energy, preparing to step into new energy. All right, the Unstoppable You Oracle. The risk is worth the reward. We got Show Up Scared on the bottom of the deck. And Dream Big, Start Now on the top of the deck. The risk is worth the reward. Page 141. Who is this? Eric Clapton? On a dark desert highway, cool wind in my hair. All right. The risk is worth the reward. Core message. You can't reach the stars by staying grounded. Key themes. Boldness, leap of faith, expansion, brave choices, reward through risk, growth outside the comfort zone. What? Message. Big dreams come with big asks of your courage, your trust, your willingness to leap without certainty. This card is your cosmic nudge, your reminder that the life you crave lives beyond the comfort of what's familiar. You weren't made to stay grounded. You were made to rise. Every risk carries the possibility of failure, but it also carries the possibility of everything changing. What if this time it works? What if this time the reward is bigger than you imagined? The only way to know is to go. Let your vision be louder than your fear. Let desire lead where logic won't. Guidance. If you've been standing at the edge of a decision, hesitating to jump, this card is here to tell you the risk is real, but so is the reward. Fear will try to keep you tethered. It will whisper stories of what could go wrong. But underneath that fear lives your most expansive self, calling you to rise. No bold life was built on safe decisions alone. This is your moment to bet on you. Journaling prompts. What risk have I been avoiding that my soul secretly craves? What's the worst that could happen? What's the best that could happen? How would I move if I trusted that the reward is already on its way? Activation practice. Leap visualization. Close your eyes and picture yourself standing at the edge of a cliff overlooking a vast, glowing sky full of stars. Your dreams. See yourself leaping, soaring, reaching. Breathe into that moment of flight. Let the feeling of freedom replace the fear. Affirmation. I am bold enough to take the leap. The reward is worth the risk, and I trust what's waiting on the other side. Action step. Identify one courageous action you've been putting off. Applying, investing, starting, asking, and take one tangible step toward it today. You were not made for small moves. This is your moment to rise. I don't think there's anything I can add to that. That's confirmation of everything that we've talked about out here today, pretty much. All right. We're going to skip the dreams and the echoes of the soul, and we're going to jump right into the Archangel Fire Oracle. Last time we got a Nutchiel number 3 and Fuel number 19. You got Caveman and Mermaid, basically. Hotel California. That's the name of this song. And I'm pretty sure this is Eric Clapton, but it could be the Eagles. Anyways, I don't know. Classic, nonetheless. All right, Archangel of Fire Oracle. We haven't had that spirit here since 1969. That's way too many. Azrael, Ariel, Jeremiel, Metatron, and Tafikiel. That's not how you pronounce her name, but I can't remember how to pronounce it right now. We had to look it up. I think I have to look it up every time we get that card. And Nutchiel came back out. Jophiel. Okay, we're going to acknowledge the fact that he came back out. We got Gagiel, 16 on the top of the deck. Raduel, 13 on the bottom of the deck. Manic Monday on the radio. I was just thinking about this song the other day. Monday. I played it on YouTube. Manic Monday. Crystal Blue Italian Stream. Okay. 3 and 15. Way shower. There's no one like you in the world. You have a unique purpose. Believe in yourself and have confidence. Life is one big adventure. Then Jophiel, joy. Be joyful. Let go of your heavy physical and emotional burdens. Release the baggage. Allow new clarity and happiness to pour into your life. Then you can rise up out of the gloom and fly higher. We got the joy card last time from the Affirmators deck. Joy is like butter. It makes everything better. Embrace the little moments in life that bring you joy. All right, now we're going to pull from Mary Magdalene and we'll be done. 109:15 on the timer. Last time we got the red thread. Mary, Mary, full of grace, what advice can you give us today? The cave of eggs. We exist in and with each other. Number 30. On the first page of the fragments that have been found of Mary's gospel, Christ says, quote, every nature, every molded form, every creature exists in and with each other, end quote, referencing Mary chapter 2, verse 2. One of the prevailing themes throughout Mary's gospel is the emphasis of union, of uniting to become a true human being, which means fully human and also fully divine. We did get the marriage card, which is also a form of union. There's a secret cave in Saint Bayam, the holy mountain in France, that's far more difficult to find than Mary's main cave. It's where many believe Mary meditated in order to be in union with Christ after the crucifixion. It's where she merged again and again with the love that never ends within her. When you descend into the cave of eggs, if you remember to bring a flashlight, or if you meet pilgrims on the crazy adventure of trying to find the cave who graciously lend you theirs, then you will see the stunning egg-shaped indentions that have formed across the wall of the cave. As I stood there taking in their mystical power and pure beauty, a chill raced through me. I felt certain suddenly that Mary had been there as well, as if she existed so intensely in this place, in this cave, that her presence had become eternal within it. She existed so intensely and so entirely because she had become fully human and fully divine. Mary united her ego with her soul, bringing love and mercy to all seven egoic powers within her. What made the cave of eggs so sacred to me, what made it, in fact, the holiest place on earth, is that I finally embodied a truth that had always walked with me. It's a truth that has been reflected back to me in the great spiritual traditions of the world. We exist in and with each other. When we unify the self and soul, we realize that there is no other, that we are in fact the unconditional and unending love we've been searching for everywhere except within our own hearts. We come home to the profound interconnectedness with all creation. We exist in and with each other. The soul voice meditation. What does it feel like to know that I exist in and with all creation? Knowing that we are all connected and we are all here to help each other in so many different ways, and also heal and learn and grow ourselves on a soul level. As always, be grateful for what you have, the big, the small, and the blessings yet to come. If you see a need out there today, tomorrow, next week, if there's any possible way that you can fill that need, please do so. You may not only better their day, you could possibly change their life, and you never know the impact it could have on yours. Be blessed, find peace, have a great evening, and I'll see you next time.